Something is happening in your body right now that you have not been able to fully explain, not to a doctor, not to yourself, not in any framework that the people around you would recognize as a legitimate reason to stop and pay attention. Maybe it is the quality of your sleep, the way you wake up tired from rest that should have been sufficient, or the way certain places, certain people, certain conversations drain you in a matter of minutes in a way that used to take hours. Maybe it is a sensitivity that was not there before, to sound, to light, to the emotional texture of a room before anyone has said a word. Maybe it is something in the mirror, not aging, something more subtle than that, a sense that the face looking back carries a different frequency than it did 6 months ago, that something underneath the surface has been reorganizing itself without asking permission. You are not imagining this, and you are not breaking down. What you are feeling is your body responding to a shift in how the quantum field is moving through you, as a biological reality that mainstream conversation does not yet have clean language for, but that the physics, followed honestly, describes with precision. Today, I want to go through what is actually happening, the mechanism behind the symptoms, why the body registers quantum transitions before the mind does, what the warning in this video's title is actually pointing at, and what to do with all of it. This is not a video about spiritual ascension in the way that phrase usually gets used. It is a video about your nervous system, your electromagnetic field, your cellular biology, and the relationship between all three and the quantum field they are embedded in. Stay with me, because what I am about to describe is either going to confirm something you have been feeling without language for it, or it is going to give you a framework that changes how you read everything your body has been trying to tell you.
Hey Quantum family, how are you doing? I'm appearing here personally today because before we go deep into this quantum warning, I have for you in this video another warning first. And this one comes directly from me. If what you just heard in the opening resonated, if you recognized something in those symptoms, something you have been feeling in your body without a name for it, and then I want you to know that I see that. And that is exactly why I created something that I wish had existed when I was going through my own transition. It is called the Quantum Transition Field Guide. 8-9 pages that I built specifically for the person who is living what this video is describing. Not theory, a real map. The phases of a genuine quantum transition. What each one produces in the body, and in experience 5 practical protocols and a 30-day navigation guide for someone who needs more than a concept right now. I did not create this as a product. I created it because I went through my own transitions without anything like that. Without a map, without language for what was happening. And I kept thinking, someone needs to build this. So I did. If you feel like you are between one version of yourself and the next one right now, if the body symptoms in this video are familiar, this was built for you. The link is in the description. It is at launch price right now, and I want you to have access to it while it is still there. Thank you so much for being here, for being part of this community, for showing up for yourself by watching content like this. Now let us go back to the video. There is a lot more I want to share with you today.
The body is not a machine that houses consciousness. It is a quantum system that is continuous with the field around it. Every cell in your body is in constant electromagnetic communication with the cells around it, with the nervous system above it, and with the field extending beyond the boundary of your skin. The boundary is functional, not absolute. The body ends where the field thins, not where it stops. This matters because it means that shifts in the quantum field do not stay outside the body. They move through it. They register in it. They produce biological responses before they produce mental ones. The body is a more sensitive instrument than the mind for detecting changes in the field, precisely because it has not yet learned to filter them out the way the analytical mind has. The heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet in every direction beyond the body and is measurable with precision instruments. The nervous system runs electrochemical signals at frequencies that overlap with the frequency ranges of the quantum field. The gut contains more neurons than the spinal cord and processes information about the environment independently of the brain. Your body is not receiving information about the quantum field. It is part of the quantum field. And when the field shifts, the body is the first thing that registers it, which means the symptoms you have been experiencing, the ones that feel too subtle to report and too persistent to ignore, are not psychological noise. They are field data. Your body is reading something that your mind has not yet caught up to. Write in the comments. What is the symptom your body has been showing you that you have not been able to explain? Not the medical version, the honest version, the one you have been noticing in private without knowing what to do with it. The nervous system is the body's primary quantum antenna, not as a spiritual claim, as a description of what the nervous system actually does at the cellular level. Neurons communicate through electrochemical gradients that operate at the quantum scale. The ion channels in neural membranes, the protein structures that govern how signals propagate through nerve tissue, function according to quantum mechanical principles. The nervous system is a quantum system doing biological work, and when the quantum field shifts, the nervous system is the first internal system to register it. Before the endocrine system, before the immune system, before any organ that operates through slower chemical signaling. This is why the most common symptoms of a genuine quantum transition are nervous system symptoms first. Sleep that does not restore, not insomnia in the ordinary sense. A quality of wakefulness during sleep, as if some part of the system remains vigilant even when the body is at rest. This happens when the nervous system is processing information that arrived faster than the body's integration cycle can handle. The processing continues through the night because it did not complete during the day. Sensitivity amplification. Sounds that were previously unremarkable become loud. Light that was previously comfortable becomes sharp. Social environments that were previously neutral become exhausting within minutes. This is not anxiety in the psychological sense. It is the nervous system's sensitivity threshold lowering as it becomes more responsive to the field. More data is getting through, and a system receiving more data than it is accustomed to processing experiences that data as overwhelm before it learns to handle the new volume. Energy fluctuations that have no clear cause. Days of unusual clarity and capacity, followed by days of inexplicable flatness. Not mood, something more fundamental than mood. The system's cycling between states of higher and lower coherence as it integrates field information it has not previously encountered. I recognize all three of these from specific periods in my own life, not as distant memories, but as experiences I can still locate in the body when I think about them. The sleep, the sensitivity, the cycling, they arrived together, and they resolved not when I treated them as problems, but when I understood them as the nervous system doing something it had not previously been asked to do. Here is the layer that most conversations about physical symptoms miss entirely. The body has an electromagnetic field, not as a spiritual concept, as a measurable physical reality. The heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field of any organ, detectable up to 3 feet from the body with standard instruments. The brain generates its own field. The gut generates its own field. Every organ, every tissue, every cell contributes to a whole body electromagnetic field that is as real and as physically present as the body itself. This field is not static. It changes with the internal state of the person. It changes with coherence. When the body is fragmented, when the nervous system is running competing signals, when the emotional state and the physical state and the mental state are not synchronized, the electromagnetic field is noisy, incoherent. The signals from different parts of the system are not amplifying each other. They are partially canceling each other out. When coherence increases, when the parts of the system begin to synchronize, the electromagnetic field changes measurably. It becomes more ordered. The frequencies running through it begin to lock into stable relationships with each other. The whole body signal gets stronger and cleaner simultaneously. And here is what this means for the symptoms. When the quantum field around you shifts, your body's electromagnetic field has to recalibrate its relationship with that shift. The recalibration is not comfortable. It produces interference patterns between the old field configuration and the new one, and those interference patterns register in the body as symptoms. Pressure in the chest that is not cardiac, a quality of fullness or density in the head that is not headache, a buzzing or vibration in the extremities that has no neurological cause on standard examination, a sense of electricity running through the system at moments of stillness. These are not symptoms of illness. They are symptoms of a field in transition, the electromagnetic body reorganizing its relationship with a quantum field that has moved. The question is not how to make the symptoms stop. The question is how to support the recalibration so the transition completes rather than stalling in the interference. This is what I mean by the quantum warning in the title of this video. The warning is not coming from outside. It is coming from the body itself, and it is carrying specific information that most people are translating into the wrong language. When the body produces persistent fatigue that sleep does not resolve, the warning is this: the system is spending more energy on integration than on function. Something in the field shifted, and the body is using its resources to process the shift rather than to power ordinary daily operation. The warning is not rest more, it is integrate what arrived. When the body produces amplified sensitivity, the warning is this: the filter that was protecting you from too much field data has loosened. You are receiving more than you were previously receiving. The warning is not reduce the input. It is build the capacity to process what is now getting through. When the body produces energy fluctuations without external cause, the warning is this: the system is moving between states of coherence and incoherence as it searches for a new stable configuration. The flatness is not depression. The clarity is not mania. Both are phases in a system that is reorganizing. The warning is not stabilize at all costs. It is trust the cycling and do not interrupt it by forcing either state to end before it has completed its function. When the body produces changes in how it relates to food, to sleep, to physical exertion, to social contact, the warning is this: the system is renegotiating what it needs at its new level of field sensitivity. What supported coherence before may not be what supports it now. The warning is not return to what worked before. It is pay attention to what the body is actually asking for now, rather than what it used to ask for. I want to be clear about something here. None of this replaces medical evaluation. If you are experiencing physical symptoms, see a doctor. What I am describing is not a reason to avoid medical care. It is an additional layer of information for symptoms that medical evaluation returns as unexplained. Write in the comments, which warning resonates most precisely with what your body has been showing you? The fatigue, the sensitivity, the cycling, the renegotiation. Because naming it accurately is the first step toward working with it rather than against it. The body does not need to be fixed during a quantum transition. It needs to be supported. There is a significant difference between the two. Fixing implies the symptoms are wrong. Supporting implies the symptoms are part of a process that needs conditions to complete. The three practices I want to offer here are not treatments. They are conditions. Things you create that allow the recalibration to complete rather than stall. The first is coherence anchoring. Once a day, for 5 minutes, create the conditions for whole body coherence. Breath at 6 breaths per minute, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Attention on the center of the chest. A genuine feeling of something you actually value, not performed, real. This specific combination produces measurable coherence in the heart's electromagnetic field. And a coherent heart field signals the nervous system that the environment is safe enough to move from survival processing to integration processing. The body shifts from managing the transition to completing it. The second is field boundary awareness. The body's electromagnetic field extends beyond the skin. And during a transition, when the field is recalibrating, it becomes more permeable, more susceptible to interference from the fields of other people and other environments. This is partly why social environments become exhausting during these periods. You are not just managing your own recalibration, you are also managing interference from fields that are not in the same process. Spend deliberate time in environments with minimal electromagnetic interference, natural settings, stillness, solitude that is chosen rather than imposed, not to withdraw permanently, but to give the recalibration the clean signal conditions it needs to complete. The third is integration rather than suppression. When a symptom arrives, before moving to manage it, spend 2 minutes asking what it is carrying, not in a mystical sense, in a practical one. Fatigue carries information about where energy is going. Sensitivity carries information about what the field is currently registering that previously was not getting through. Emotional intensity carries information about what the new field configuration is incompatible with in your current life. The symptoms are not problems to eliminate. They are the body's translation of field information into biological language. Learning to read that language rather than silence it is the most efficient path through the transition. Now, let's get to the highlighted comment of today. I understand these concepts. I find I have manifested much better for the collective than for self. The reason is directly related to my fragmentation of self. My collective manifestation occurred within 20 minutes, whereas my personal manifestations can take longer. This is one of the most precise self-observations I have seen in the comments on this channel. It is exactly what the coherence research shows. When a person is operating for something larger than the personal self, the internal fragmentation that normally disrupts the signal temporarily reduces. The parts of the system that are competing when the goal is personal benefit begin to align when the goal is collective. The field registers a more coherent observer, and the outcome reflects that coherence, arriving faster, fitting more precisely. The personal manifestations taking longer is not a failure of technique. It is the body's electromagnetic field, running into the interference of its own fragmentation. The parts of the system that hold competing beliefs about personal worthiness, personal safety, personal capacity, create noise in the signal that the collective goal simply does not activate. The quantum warning here is specific. The difference between how quickly things arrive for the collective versus the self is a precise measurement of where your coherence breaks down. And that measurement is more useful than any analysis of what you want or what you believe. It shows you exactly where the fragmentation lives. My response is this: the 20 minutes is not luck. It is what coherence produces when fragmentation is not in the way. The path to personal manifestation arriving with the same speed is not trying harder for yourself. It is understanding where the self-directed signal is being disrupted and removing that disruption. Not through force, through the same coherence practices that work when the self gets out of its own way. Thank you for participating and sharing your experience. Before we close, if this video gave your symptoms a framework they did not have before, subscribe to this channel. This is exactly the kind of content I am here to produce. Not spiritual bypassing, not medical advice. The actual mechanism behind what your body has been trying to tell you, in language that the physics supports and that you can use. Here is what I want to leave you with. The quantum warning your body has been sending is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is happening that your current framework was not built to explain. And the gap between what is happening and what your framework can explain is not a problem. It is information. Every system that has ever made a genuine transition has produced symptoms during the transition. Not because the transition is dangerous, but because the old configuration and the new configuration cannot fully coexist. There is interference. There is noise. There is a period where neither state is fully stable, and the system is in the uncomfortable space between them. That space is not illness. That space is the transition itself. The body that feels different right now is not a body that is failing. It is a body that is at the threshold of a new configuration and is producing the symptoms that threshold always produces when it is real rather than theoretical. What changes after this video is not the symptoms, not immediately. What changes is the relationship with them. From something to manage to something to read. From noise to signal. From warning in the sense of danger to warning in the sense of information arriving before you were expecting it. Your body knew before your mind did. It has been trying to tell you something in the only language it has, and the language is not broken. You just needed the translation. Write in the comments. What did your body know before you did? Not what you think it was trying to say. What it actually showed you in the body before your mind caught up to it, because those answers are always more precise than anything I could have put in this video. I will see you in the next Quantum Reflex.